And we're live.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to WeJane TV. I'm Elsie Hu.
And I'm Beth Tancredi.
Thanks for joining us this beautiful Sunday morning. If you're in New Jersey, then you're loving this weather. Woohoo, it's really pretty. If you're not from New Jersey, I hope your weather's really awesome like what we have. Today we have a special guest. We have Christie. Christie is an amazing graphic designer. She's a brand specialist as well. And she's going to tell us a little bit about being an entrepreneur, being a mom. And we're going to have, wait 1 second.
Amarone.
We're going to have Amarone join us. She's the WeJane mascot. And everything, we're going to learn a little bit about her. So I hope you really enjoy this episode of WeJane TV. Hi, Christie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about who you are, where you grew up.
Okay, well, I'm a mom to a 12-year-old boy. I've been married to my husband for about 15 years. We actually met when I was living in Seattle and he was living in LA. Then we both ended up in New York and got married a few years later. Then I had my son. I grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which was a great place to grow up. But I always kind of knew I wanted to live a few different places, so I moved around a bit. I've actually lived in 6 different states and a few different towns, but I'm glad to be back out here on the East Coast in New Jersey. And
That's cool.
yeah, I'm loving it. And I also have 2 awesome dogs. So
So
Never forget about the
you can
dogs.
relate about this.
Exactly,
You always
yes.
wanted to be about
Yes.
that. Michigan is really interesting.
It
How
is.
was it growing up in Michigan?
it was so beautiful. We had a cottage on a lake, and we spent our entire summers there. There was, not as much camp. Like, we didn't go to camp. We were just in the water and on the lake the entire summer. So it was awesome.
And I'm going a little off script here, but actually it's funny. I moved around a lot growing up.
Okay.
And so I know that, the being in the different places, and I really think it really makes you who you are, right? It makes
Yeah.
you adapt. Did you have a favorite place where you like to live
Seattle.
somewhere? Seattle.
Seattle.
I love
It's
Seattle.
beautiful. It is
Yeah,
beautiful.
I'm not all about the heat, so Savannah. I lived in Savannah for a while too, which was great,
That's cool.
but it was so hot. And Seattle is just so green and lush, and I felt like it didn't rain as much as people think it does, but
Yes, I love their
really
farmers
nice.
market in Pike's
Oh,
Place.
yes,
yes.
I know.
you could get flowers like these kind of flowers for like $7
I
or
know.
something crazy.
I was
Yeah.
obsessed. When I went 2 years ago, two
Yeah.
summers ago, I was obsessed, and I wanted to take home all the
I
flowers.
know, it was so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only been to Seattle once, and I would love to go back because it was just like on the way to a cruise.
Mhm. Yeah, to Alaska.
Yes, yeah.
That's like a little bit of a tease.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But it was absolutely lovely. So let's talk a little bit about the way you make your living. At some point, let's talk about, were you working for corporate somewhere at first, and then?
I was working for the Staubach company, Roger Staubach's real estate company in retail real estate. And when I had my son, I planned to go back to work. And right around that same time, my husband, who worked for Hugo Boss, realized we were going to be moved down to Savannah, at least for a while. We knew it might be a few years. We didn't know for sure how long, so I didn't end up going back to work. And luckily for me, a good friend and coworker was starting her own business, and she needed some freelance help, just a little bit of stuff here and there. So I ended up working with her, which turned out to be quite a bit more than I thought it would. And then when we moved back up north, she's actually down here in Red Bank, and I would, come to the office down here, and I worked quite a bit with her, and she's slowing down a little bit on purpose. And I needed to make the decision whether to get a full-time job or start my own business. And I really wanted to get back to design, which was what I loved. I was doing a little bit more like project management with her. And so I started my own business, and I honestly just went on Facebook and reached out to some people that I knew, and I got my experience back because things are always changing. I have some things to learn. And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, so it was really, it was a decision, but it was more of a progression for me.
Well, that's great. So there was not a big leap, but there was a nice,
Exactly.
there was a transitional
Yes.
time.
That's great.
That's
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it.
Yes, it is. It's definitely easiest. I was lucky to have it work out for me that way. Sometimes I know people are working hard and they're trying to make a decision, do I leave this job, do I do this? And I did actually, though, I was considering looking for something steady because it's just, more reliable.
a little bit about, you create websites, which is more of a branding because you have such a amazing way of talking to someone, understanding their brand, and developing it into a website. You did my website, which I love, and I've received so many compliments. So tell us a little bit about why is it important for an entrepreneur to really show their brand through their website?
Okay. Well, I think branding right now is such a buzzword, and a lot of people don't really understand what it means, and they're like, oh, can you make a logo for me? And then you're like, yeah, but it's more than that. So I would really like to get on the phone with the client and talk to them and get a feel for their personality. And I also have, I've developed a questionnaire that they can complete that maybe makes them think about things they might not think about otherwise. And then when we review the questionnaire, even more things come up, you know, and it really helps them clarify what their intent is. You know, it isn't just to make a pretty page where people can go, and you know, they need to really express not only their personality and their brand, but what they can do for their client.
Absolutely.
To help them.
Yeah.
What actually, and along those lines, what are some of the questions that you would think that people need to ask or answer, right, as they're trying to develop their brand, without giving away your secret sauce?
Sure.
No. But you know, what are some of those questions that, you know, as entrepreneurs we all need to think about? Like, oh gosh, no, I hadn't really thought about that yet.
Well, I think one of them is like, what is the feeling you want your potential client or your client to have after they visit your page? You know, what is, you know, some people want it to be really energetic and, you know, like, depending on what you're going for. And some people, they want like a feeling of calm and trust and, you know, that if they reach out to that person, they're going to be very stable and secure. Or, so I think it's like, what are the feelings you want to convey? What are some things that you do differently than anyone else? Yeah, like, I guess really along those lines, it's more about what are some of the words that you find yourself saying often, and how can we implement your voice into the brand?
Yeah. I think websites are generally like, if you're meeting someone at a networking event, you have 5 seconds to leave a really good, you know, impression on them. And so you really want your person that you're trying to either gain business from or networking with, Morone, you want them to really understand your website by the 5 seconds of looking at it.
Exactly.
So it's interesting to see that even with mine, and I'm going to use mine as an example, I feel like Austin Powers. No, it's interesting to see, like, even with my websites, people say that how you created it, it really says that I am a powerful woman, this is my brand, I'm very clear in the first few sentences who I am, and my services are just like right there, and they love that. Because there are times people don't want to read through the whole website or read or press every tab, so they want the first page to have all the information they need. Is there an instance where someone is just not clear about what they want, and you help them really figure it out?
I don't know that I can give you an example right now, like a specific example, but yes, that happens all the time. And I think it kind of goes back to trying to be everything to everyone too. Like even within myself, I realize I can't do everything, you know. But sometimes people want to say I can do this, you know, and then everything just gets way too wordy. I really like to create, like a lot of the websites I create are almost one page. I mean, there may be a couple other pages with some more detailed things, but most people are on their phones, so they go to the page and they want to just scroll and see everything. You know, they don't want to, oh, here's the cover, now I need to click to the about and learn about that person, or now I need to click to services. So I really like it to be like, oh, you know, it's attractive at the very first screen, and then you just scroll down and see everything. So I don't know that really answered your question.
But it's also interesting, because to that point, I mean, in my day job, what we have found constantly, and we're a media organization, but what we have found constantly is like people will read the first even 2, 3, maybe the first paragraph, 2, 3 sentences of the first paragraph, and that's really as far as they're getting. So brevity, you know, and powerful wording is really, you know, the great way to go there.
I agree.
So motivates you to help people and inspire people? You know, what gets you going each day with this stuff?
Well, you know, I have a couple clients that just launched recently, and most of my clients are entrepreneurs or startup businesses, and it's just such a great feeling to see them succeed. Or I'm constantly on their social media and checking out, you know, the responses they're getting. If they can be excited and, you know, really happy with the branding that we created and the website or social media images, and you can just feel the excitement. I mean, there's just no better feeling than that, really.
Yeah. So, being an entrepreneur, what is the lessons learned as being an entrepreneur?
Well, I think for me, it was focus. I wanted to do everything. I felt like I could do it all. Like if they're like, oh, I need my social media, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then I realized, no, I can't do that. I was spending so much time trying to do things that I'm not good at or I don't know enough about. So I had to really make a decision. Am I going to try to learn everything? Another thing for me was with the websites. Most of the people that came to me either had a Squarespace site or a Wix site, and they wanted help with that. And that was easy for me, and I enjoyed it, and that's what really got me going. But then a lot of people wanted WordPress, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just learn WordPress, no problem. And I was taking so much time away from what I enjoyed doing, trying to learn the technical aspects of this, that it was just stressful and not fun for me anymore. So luckily I got busy enough with the other types of websites that I decided just to say, no, I don't do WordPress. I can do Squarespace, Wix, some of the other build your own platforms. And so I just realized that I can't do everything. And I've also joined some groups online and, you know, local groups where I've met some fabulous women and men. And we've been able to collaborate and, you know, work together and help each other out. Like they might need help with the branding and I might need help with social media. And, you know, so it really does take a village, I guess you could say, to come in.
It does, yeah. Collaboration, I think, when you're a solopreneur,
Exactly.
is amazing. It's the thing that's going to get you where you're going.
So I guess, yeah, for me it was just, I can't do everything. You gotta get some help.
But then you are become an expert in what you
Right.
know. And,
Exactly.
and, and actually when you really love what you do,
Yes.
it shines through your
Yeah.
work. It's really, it's amazing how, well, it goes with any type of employment or having a small business. When you really love what you do, you excel.
Right.
And people can tell. And then they really value your opinion and your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
That's great. So where can we find you on social media or anywhere in general?
Okay. Well, my website is VanderLaanCreative.com.
Can you spell that for us?
Yes.
Yes.
Into the camera.
I know. Well, it's a Dutch name. It's V-A-N-D as in dog, E-R-L-A-A-N. So it has 2 A's. Creative.com.
And we can put that in the post.
Yeah, we'll put it in a post as well.
Great. Yeah.
Where you can find her and really just her work, and she's just an amazing person. So we're going to do a little bit of a quick questioning.
Okay.
I haven't quite figured out a funding for it, so we're going to do like a rapid whatever.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Okay.
So, don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. Okay. Since we're in fall,
Yes.
what is your favorite fall look?
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Okay. So definitely the, you know, taller boots
Yes.
and sweater. I mean, I'm so happy with like fall jean boot sweater
Yes.
weather. That's it. If I could have that all year round, I'd be happy.
That's great. That's great. And since you're from what part of New Jersey you're from?
I live in Westfield.
Westfield.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your favorite New Jersey restaurant?
Ooh, that's a tough one. My favorite, you know what? I'm gonna have to say Spice Bazaar in Westfield. It's Indian food. It's really good.
Oh my gosh.
It's very
I love
authentic.
Indian. Yes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm a big fan of Indian.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a really good one down here.
I don't know. I'm doing it.
You know what? She doesn't even.
Yeah.
So
We didn't have. We had this guy who had, you know, an Indian inspired. It was in a deli actually, but it was really good food. But then when this restaurant opened up, it changed everything.
It changed your life. Okay. Growing up,
Yes.
who was your childhood celebrity crush?
Oh my gosh. That's such a hard one. I'm gonna have to say David Cassidy. even know who that is.
No, I do.
No, I mean, I don't know. That was just the first thing that came to my head.
Yeah.
Although I was very, very young, like a toddler
Yeah.
at that time.
I guess it posters. Oh my gosh.
Get your Tiger Beat magazine.
I don't think they put posters on walls anymore, do they?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think they do.
They still do? Girls still do?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
It's all,
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
think it's just all Instagram? They're just all looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
maybe.
it's all social media.
Mm-hmm.
My parents used to like go nuts because I had the tape on the wall. Like, oh my God, more tape on the wall. But I think that's just so cool, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate that kids don't do that anymore.
Actually, it's so funny because I used to listen when I was younger. I used to listen to a lot of heavy metal music, and my mom hated the pictures of all the long hair, you know, shirtless men.
Of course.
So I had these closet doors that opened up. So I had all the posters on the inside of the closet.
Oh, no.
So when I would come home, I'd open the door so I could see them. But when my mom was home, the doors were closed, so she just didn't
not
see
see
them.
it. Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
So growing up, I used to love Menudo.
Okay. Not so bad.
So
Could be worse.
and New Kids on the Block.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Kids on the Block. How can you not like New
Yeah.
Kids on the
Oh, I
Block?
know.
Yeah, they were like dreaming.
Cool.
So, well, thank you. Thanks for
Well, thank
being
you so
here.
much for having me.
It was so great. We've never met in person.
No.
It's amazing, the power of social media. You develop my website, everything over phone and email. So it's, if you really want to find someone, it just doesn't matter if you know the person, just find someone that's quality. It's just so important when you're developing your brand as an entrepreneur, or even you're an actress, or whatever the case may be. That you show your brand on your website, because people do go onto websites to find out more about you. So we will be putting her website on the post, so that if you really need help redeveloping your brand, redeveloping your website, want a new logo, want something that's edgy, sexy, or whatever the case may be, you can reach out to Christie. Thank you again.
Thank you for joining
So
us.
great to meet you.
Yes, and stay tuned. We have Meg coming in at 10:30. We're super excited about that. We're wearing pink for launching our breast cancer awareness month. Meg is a second stage 2 breast cancer survivor. She lives with a brain tumor. So we're going to hear a little bit more about her story. We're super excited to have her here. So everyone, go get coffee, get a bagel, do whatever you have to do, walk your dog, take my dog for a walk if you want to, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.